Good morning. It's been quite a morning. I'm in New England, and of course it's the time of thunderstorms and things like that. And we had a doozy that just came through, and of course my dog does not enjoy boom booms, so I was playing safety net for that guy. But okay, so I want to go over this. This is a great. This is a thing that you can do on dominant seventh chords, which is really fantastic. And there's other ways. There's so many ways of thinking about this. It's really almost like I'm doing like a blues scale, but I'm throwing in the 13th. Okay, and I'm going to pick this one particular number, which is the gem of them all, to get this. Okay, so let's say I did like a D, F, A flat, right? And that's the same thing, but what I did was an octave displacement. Okay, so I had D, F, A flat, D, F, A flat, down an octave. Okay, octave displacement, really great stuff. The D was the 13. F is the root. What's the A flat? Really G sharp. It's a sharp 9. Okay, or you can say, well, geez, no, the F blues scale has A flat, a flat 3. Okay, so you can think of that note from either perspective. In the case of dominant sevenths, though, I would call it a sharp 9. Okay, so it's really technically a G sharp in this particular chord. Right, and then there, I just really kind of went up through the pentatonic scale: F, A flat, B flat, C, and on. So that's the deal here, right? So now let's put it into perspective with the harmony, okay? So the guy basically stuck with a conventional 12 bar, and the guy was Eddie Harris, and he this song appeared on the Les McCann and Eddie Harris Live at Montreux Festival, which came out in the 60s. And Les did most of the writing, but Eddie pioneered, and this was the debut of this song, which was called Cold Duck Time. See, now you can go from the F7 to the B flat, and I chose a B flat 9 chord, okay? And here I was just doing, the regular F7. I don't need to color it because all the color is in the melody, so it's there. It's just living in the melody. So the chord, if it just stays, just very simple F dominant seventh chord. Right? So isn't that so cool that that same melody works over the 1 or the 4 chord? That's amazing, that man was an amazing composer to understand that, I don't have to move. I don't have to go anywhere. This is great. This will work over that too, And over the B flat, the D is the 3, F is the 5, and the A flat is the flat 7. So how cool is that? You've got all your chord tones on either case. So I had either 13, 1, sharp 9, or I had 3, 5, flat 7. And even when you do the da da da, when you do the B flat, hey, geez, in the F7, that's the 11. I'm sorry. And then you go to the 11 to 5, or 4, 5, whatever you're thinking. If you're thinking blues scale, then then you're thinking 1 flat 3 4 5, right? If you're thinking in harmony, F, root, sharp 9, 11, 5. Okay? I hope I'm making sense. And then for the finale, or the turnaround, let's call it the turnaround because that's the technical name of it, he does the flat 6 chord, dominant 7th chord into the 5 chord. Okay? That's that same thing that we talked about that B.B. King used to love too, right? And I like doing this. So on the D flat 7, I use a D flat 9th chord. It's made up of 8th fret on the 5th string. That gives me my F. I've got B on the 9th fret, and I got a D flat, or E. No, I'm sorry, E flat, and then I have an A flat. Okay, so okay, I see it. So I got, and according to D flat, F is the 3, B flat is actually, or B is actually the flat 7. So let's think of it as a C flat. Okay, so that's C flat. E flat is the 9, and A flat is the 5. So it's a little zinger of a chord to think about in, again, you know, thinking about it from how is it behaving against the chord it's on. It's a 9th chord. So that's how I had to work. And then here, I do a C7 sus4. I like that because the root, the melody is do, do, da, right? And so it's this, da, 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 right? So it's D flat 9, C7 sus4, F7. Okay? So that's what he's using to turn this thing around. So I'm sorry I had to do a lot of explaining, but well, that's what this video is for, right? To explain it out, tell you what's going on. All right, so here's the tune, okay? Now I'm going to do it. And a couple of times what I'm going to do, I'm going to borrow some other sounds in the harmony. So sometimes I'm going to detour from my F7 into like a G minor 7, or maybe even a C minor 7. I'm just going to venture into those areas just for chord comping, and you'll see what I'm talking about. C7 sharp 9. No, not sharp 9, sharp 5. Okay, we got C, B flat, E. Oh, geez, that's just the shell voice. Root, flat 7, 3, sharp 5. Thrown in on there. That was G sharp. Right? So I'm always thinking about my chord, you know, my extensions, what's my scale degrees on this stuff. So that's that stuff that you you drill yourself on and you drill your stuff on, and then you just keep drilling yourself on for years and years and years until it's finally somewhere along the line it just becomes part of your subconscious, and you just do it. You just act on it. And I don't really know how to describe when does it change from that to that, you know, but it does. And so then you just do things instinctively. But this song is a beauty. And like I said, really, what I'm doing is I'm playing an F minor pentatonic or blues scale, F blues scale, but I'm throwing in the 6 or the 13. It's really a 13th because we're talking about a dominant 7th chord. You know, so you don't, you know, you got to call it by what it is. In a dominant 7th world, it's a 13th, not a 6. 6 is major or minor. But in dominant 7ths, we don't have dominant 7/6 chords. We have dominant 7/13th chords. So that's another big thing that you got to realize, you know, how do you spell this out? Because if you can't spell it right, and you're talking to somebody who really knows their stuff, they're going to say, what's with this guy? He doesn't understand anything, you know? So, bingo. So, it's reasoning for this, okay? And you know, just basically, you got to learn all your scales and the types, major, minor, dominant, altered dominance. There's too many minor scales. I don't know what happened there, but there's a gazillion of them. But the nice thing about minor scales is you can identify them by their sound textures and what notes they're working with. So I'm hoping all this stuff helps out. You know, that's my main purpose here, is to try and help out and put some understanding of what's going on in these things. Right? So here's my F7 chord. But I didn't use flat 7, I used 13. Right? And that, right? So there's the sharp 9 chord. And I could have ran with that. I could have actually ran with a 13th sharp 9 chord. So any one of those is working great. All right, well, that's that. Have fun with that. All right, Scuba. Like I said, that storm's over.